My name is Reverend Lea McCracken. I'm the Associate Chaplain and Church Relations Officer at TCU. Go Frogs. We have 66 different religious traditions that are alive and well on campus. We have a religious advisory council made up of 15 students from 15 different faith traditions that get together once a month to talk about their life on campus, their faith on campus, what are ways that their neighbors, their peers can support them. What do we not know about each other that we want to know? How do we celebrate the diversity that is among us? At the same time, though, finding the commonalities that make us whole as a people, as a human race. I think for me, it was the artistic piece of it that was missing for us at TCU. We have interfaith dialogue down. We have curriculum. We've done assessments about how do we do this work in a way that makes students feel safe, that makes people feel like they can share who they are and be vulnerable to each other. But there's something about bringing art into conversation. And so for me, I think I was just fascinated by the fact that students that might have a hard time articulating their faith or their worldview or their experience just verbally have the opportunity to do that through a photo. And a photo is worth 1,000 words, right? And so the idea that students could sit around and use photographs as the way to start dialogue was just mind-blowing to me. I'm an educator, I'm a mentor, I'm a chaplain, and so my job is to kind of always be on and doing the education pieces, being the mentor, leading everything. And so for me to be able to have Roman and Joshua come in and lead and allow me to take a step back and to just witness my students engaging, to see these students listening to their peers, supporting their peers, asking questions to really get to know who their peers were, to me was the whole takeaway. It really was watching my students engage in a way that was so authentic and so mutual that's what interfaith dialogue and interfaith initiatives is all about. And I think Photovoice has nailed it, and I'm just grateful to be part of it. I think what always has been missing is this lens to see the world through art, through pictures, through photographs. A lot of student affairs at a lot of universities is centered around programming, right? Events are important, programs are important. Let's keep students engaged and busy and connected. And all of that is beautiful and wonderful and why I do the work that I do. But I think for me, the intentionality behind Photovoice gave me the permission to think beyond programming and events. It really gave me permission to think through what does it mean to focus on peeling back the onions, the layers of our students' lives in a way that gets to the core of who they are. And so for me, when I talk about rerouting, it's moving away from programs that are great and wonderful food and really good conversations around a meal and what is happening beyond that hour and a half on Tuesdays at 5:30 on campus. What is happening behind the scenes? What are the conversations that are happening because of Photovoice, because of Know Your Neighbor Nights and our other programs that allow students to live into dialogue, into interfaith initiatives, other than just showing up for them? I think if every university, if every place that had conflict, both spoken and unspoken, had a chance to set the world aside for one retreat weekend and come together with phones down to look into their own lens, to go around their own campuses, to look inside their own lives and be able to capture and picture the things that are most holy to them, most sacred to them, and begin to talk about what they believe from that space, I wholeheartedly believe that the world could be better.